Hello.
Hi. Hello, person, human soul. So happy that you're back here. This is another episode of What is Life? Baby, don't hurt me. I want to change that song because I made a new one yesterday. What is life? Baby, it's living. It's living here and now. Okay. Welcome. Welcome. Yesterday I saw a video that we shouldn't welcome people, but I'm like, fuck off. I'm gonna welcome everybody, including all the squirrels and rats and insect that is listening to us in these trees that are literally 1 meter from my head. This is another episode of my podcast, What is Life, with Martina and Tomasz, apparently. And I actually wanted this episode to be my only solo episode, but then I was like, what the hell? I'm gonna tell this guy to join me and like be part of it and see what comes out of it. Because like, why not? So in the last 4 episodes, we were talking chronologically about our story, right? From high school until we didn't see each other for 12 years. And then in 2020, we reconnected. And within 5 months, we did like a award-winning marathon of choices that led us into freedom. But today I want to do something different. I want to talk about the power of the intensity of a relationship that I believe is still being seen in a negative way. Like, I don't know, I haven't seen yet anywhere that somebody would talk about conflict and emotional intensity in a relationship as a good thing. I really think this is unpopular opinion, and it's an opinion that I haven't really met with anywhere. But it's my own experience, and that's all I can talk about, okay? So it's not like I'm not generalizing it, but I really want to speak about the power of a relationship that makes you go fucking crazy and puts you on your knees in your bathroom where you cry every day. And I really think it's a good thing. And it's because you will find out in this episode. Let's do it.
No, I mean it's uncomfortable. So and it's easy to avoid it, So that's why it's unpopular. Like people usually don't go to the things that are uncomfortable, right? So it makes sense that it's not something that like we usually when we are in some situation that doesn't feel good, it's not something that we would at that moment see as good. Right?
Yeah.
Like it's usually like after some time when you are able to see it as good.
Yes, and that's exactly what actually why I'm able to talk about it in this episode, because after all these 6 years with you, I can literally see, like if I was going to draw it, it would be like when you have frequency line, okay? And you go up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, and it's like really up and up, down, up, down, up, down, and then slowly it's slowing down, and it's down and up until it kind of straightens out the line. And that's how I would actually see my experience, emotional ride with you in this relationship. Because like in the last episode, I spoke about the first months and my like emotional breakdown era that started. And it continued. We just haven't gotten there yet. But this basically continued for years. I would say until 2025, like June. That's my chronological understanding of the crazy events. And we fought a lot. The type of fights changed or conflicts or disagreements or like trigger and emotional reaction, it changed. The intensity changed. We learned how to communicate together, so it stopped being so like violent, like not violent in a physical way, physical sense, but more in like a word, using words as swords. I don't know if that is like a thing, but that's what I would say. And it was mostly me. Yeah, you were just there. I mean, you shouted like
No.
3 times in 6 years, I remember. Yeah, so the type of the fights changed. It calmed down until it calmed down completely lately, like last I don't know how many months. But there's this parallel thing I want to talk about. As the intensity of, let's say, negative emotions being triggered by the fights and arguments, as that was going down, something on the other hand was going up. And that's what I want to talk about. So what started to grow in me, and I can feel it, I can sense it, I can literally tell you examples probably, but I would have to think really hard because I'm scared you will ask me practical, you know. Give me examples so I want to understand. So something was growing, and that something is my capacity to love and accept myself and you and life in general, circumstances, everything as it is, other people, everything as it's happening. It's almost like the resistance, which is the negative emotions, right? You started to trigger it in me, and I started to cry and cry and cry and shout and punch the pillows and shake and use all the tools possible because I thought that's what would help. Okay, it was just a journey of everything because now I don't need any tools. It just happens and I'm just like okay with what I feel and I just live life anyways. I don't get hung up on my feelings. But that's a journey, it's an evolution. And that's exactly the evolution of my human capacity to love and accept myself, other people, life, everything grew because I would say it in this way, like energetically, it's almost like you have a cup with the water that is really dirty. And you, with your triggers, or with you being you, kind of started to pour like a clean water, okay? From another cup to my cup, which was really dirty. And it started to overflow. And all this dark, muddy water, which were emotions I haven't felt for years, or I wasn't, we are not taught this at school. We don't know how to feel, and we are scared of our own feelings, which is really just the only reason why we don't just feel them and move on. So we are not taught of it. We are not taught this at school. So I didn't know how to do it, right? I would just lash out and react and hurt people and hurt myself and punish myself on all these things. And so that would create a lot of damage and a lot of, drama in my life, which I eventually got addicted to, kind of. But that's for another episode. I'm, again, doing ADHD 360 round into what I want to say. But stay with me. And so all those 28 years of emotions, suppressed anger, suppressed rage, suppressed sadness, grief, even from the tennis courts, from my fights with my mom and with my parents, let's say, and other boyfriends before you, my ex-boyfriends, all of that was like a pressure cooker. And you came to my life and you started to slowly, well, not really slowly, but like surely, like put the pressure up, and all of those emotions and the dirty water started to overflow that cup. And I started to feel it and cry. And just, oh my God, it was so hard and so intense. But as that was happening, the water started to clear, obviously, right? When you put clean water into dirty water, it starts to clean to that clean water. And that's what I'm talking about. Like that dirt and pain started to transform and clear the energetic space in my body, or just emotional capacity, my nervous system capacity, to feel love and acceptance and non-resistance, you know? So, yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Maybe this is like incomplete, but I'm not going to even judge it. I just really wanted to say this. Maybe it doesn't make sense to you, but it makes sense to me. And I hope that to you, whoever is listening, hi, maybe it makes sense to you on some level. Everybody will understand what I just said in their own way. But the point is that having conflicts and being sensitive and being too emotional and working and figuring out your life while staying in a relationship and with the person who triggers these uncomfortable situations and emotions in you, like, the process is actually life-changing, and it provides transformation and evolution of your human being that actually chose this. I really do believe we choose these experiences, these partnerships, these relationships, this journey of an evolution, okay? And so I think it's not bad. I think to feel discomfort means that you're growing. It means that you're overcoming the known, the comfortable way of living. And you, my love, I had love-hate relationship with you until, like, in those really hard moments, remember?
Yesterday.
I was doing, baby, I was really telling you, like, I feel hate towards you. But it's not like I hated you. It's that the hate in me from all the past experiences that I never felt was, you were like poking it in me. And of course, for some time, a long time, I believed I hate you, but no, it was just that hate inside of me. And as it was coming out, I learned how to do it in a way, how to feel my emotions and like kind of release them in a way that was healthy, that it didn't hurt you, it didn't hurt anyone. And as it started to go, like, it completely, like, it was like releasing tension from my body. And I think that's fucking amazing. And I'm so grateful for it. And I'm so grateful I met you, and I'm so grateful we kept choosing each other and we stayed together. Even though I thought we would break up with every fight, we didn't. I wanted to leave 700 times. I didn't. I fake packed my bag 300 times, but I didn't leave. I stayed.
You actually fake pack your bag just once, if I remember correctly.
No, twice. So, so yeah. And I just want to normalize this, because I believe that if I'm saying this, then I'm not alone. We are all one. Somebody has to go through this. So if you're going through this, it's okay. It's okay, and it's actually necessary. And at some point, it's necessary now. But once you get on this evolution, on your evolution journey to the point where you won't need that anymore, because I don't know why it stopped, but basically just you learn how to choose love and not to fear your emotions and not to resist what's happening. It's the resistance that makes us go crazy. Shit will smooth out, and the relationship will suddenly feel calm. And not because you want to or you try hard, no, but because it will just happen, and it's a natural evolution of everything. So, yeah. And at the end of the day, like, I was not fighting with you. I was fighting with myself. We know this, right? We realize this, baby. Like, it was the stories in my head that I was translating everything you would say in my own way that would hurt me, because I needed that. And then I would get angry at you, but I was just getting angry at myself, but I didn't know that. And when you add up all of these moments, all of the cryings, all of the breakdowns, all of the sadness together, it's a huge amount of energy that was just released and moved. It was kind of like stuck in me, but not in a bad way. Nothing is bad out of what I'm saying. It just is. It's just how we function. And so now I forgot what I was saying. Yeah?
I think you are finished. It felt like you are about to be finished.
Yeah, so when you add all of this together, it just like releases. And it's a huge energy that suddenly life is able to flow through you. You're able to feel presence and being here and now. and be in the moment, because all of those energy, they become thoughts, and those become feelings, and suddenly you're just like a flowy and like empty cup that life can flow through. It's not stuck with all of these things from the past. So this is how I see it, from everything that I learned and wondered, and kind of like I did some deep thinking. This is what I see, and I just really wanted to share that, because intense relationships, they're not for everyone, and not many couples survive it. Sometimes it leads you into a peaceful breakup, if that's what is meant to happen. But for us, thank God, it led us here, so that we can now talk about it on a podcast openly, without any problem, and with love and acceptance. And I'm grateful for every single time you made me hate you, because that's exactly what I needed to feel. And I'm so grateful, baby, that you stayed with me. Like, honestly, you really do deserve gold medal. Like my mom said, a person who will be able to stay with you one day, they will deserve a medal. Well, that's you. Right now, I'm giving you the medal, and I guess I'm done. But
Thank
there's
you,
so
but I
much I
think
didn't say. There's so much I didn't say,
good.
anyways.
So can I say something as
Well,
well?
yes, go.
So nice, thank you. So first of all, for me, I don't think I deserve a medal. I think you deserve a medal for all of this that you were going through, because I was there, but I didn't go through these kind of things
Yeah.
that you went through. I mean, like everybody's going through these kind of things, and I will maybe explain a little bit later. But this specific thing that you were just explaining, like that's what you went through. So it's like I think that you are the one who deserves the gold medal for being able to handle all of these and
Thank you, my love.
yourself.
Yeah,
And
you're
because
right.
for me, like to be honest with you, like I never like I don't think it was hard for me at all to stay with you.
That's
Like I never
crazy.
wanted not to be with you.
Crazy. It's
So
crazy for me to hear.
so yeah. But how I see all of this that you explained, for me, it's a resistance that we have. And everybody is having other areas of life.
Yeah.
But also many people have the same areas of life where they have resistance. And the resistance is like, I would like easily just say that it's something you don't want. Okay.
Yeah.
And like the biggest like lessons or the biggest resistances that we have or we had or we've been having is, I guess, in relationships and in business. Those I feel like are like two like the biggest things for
You
us.
and me?
Yeah. Like separately,
Yes.
but also together.
Yes, yes.
Right. So I feel like that this is like where the biggest resistances we have been having. I don't know.
Hello, English.
Okay, let's say like that. And if you have like resistance towards something and you don't want something, that then it makes you feel shitty. And when you feel shitty, like you can react to that shittiness in many ways, right? Like somebody does what you do, which is yelling and punching pillows and whatever you do. Then there are people that just say fuck this shit and they just leave. And then there are people who close down and don't speak, or like whatever is your way of, like somebody goes and drinks a bottle of vodka, or somebody does drugs or whatever they do. So but basically for me, like what you were talking about is resistance towards something. And then you said that slowly I was pouring something into, but actually how I see it is that like you kind of build tolerance towards that. And it's like if I take you right now and I put you into some, I don't know, cold Canadian winter time or in Siberia in Russia, like you would feel fucking cold first month or 2 or 3 or 5, but then like you would be more and more okay with being there, right? And that means that you are adapting, you are like more and more okay with that. But in the beginning, like you resisted, you were like, no, I don't want that shit. I don't want that. I don't want this. This is not what I'm going to have in my life. And until this is how you look at it, let's say that, I don't know, like I do something and you feel like that you want to break up with me and you're like, no, I don't want to be with him, let's say. So you are resisting it and you're like, no, no, no. And you are like So that's the resistance I'm talking about, right? But then once you are like, okay, well, this is how it is. This is my relationship. And yes, we argue. And yes, I feel like shit. And it's all okay, you know? And slowly, you are going towards the point where you are just okay with that and you don't mind that. And that's how stop resisting, basically. And once you stop resisting, you feel amazing, and you can, like you said, be in the present moment,
And
because
you accept
yeah,
and
like
love.
yeah, not resisting and accepting, basically the same thing. And exactly, and then your capacity to love is increasing, because basically the resistance is lack of love, right? So
Love is lack of resistance. Oh, resistance is lack of love?
yes. So yeah, so basically, like, I feel like that this is what's been happening, that you went from I don't want this into I'm okay with this
But
into I love this, and that's the evolution that happened. And
but I can't really say
you
that I
can say what?
ever reached a point where I was like, okay,
Okay, what?
like we fight and that's it. I never, it really, we stopped fighting.
But why did we stop fighting? Because you suddenly stopped, like you slowly, like every time we fight it, like you more and more stop resisting it, or you resisted it less and less. That's what I'm trying to say. And that's the thing.
But
That's
not
the evolution.
consciously.
It doesn't have to be conscious. It happens whether you want or not. You can't postpone, you can slow down, you can speed up your evolution, you can, like, it just happens. Like many of these things happens without you participating in it in a conscious way. It just happens subconsciously, but it's happening. And that's why the fights were like more and more like better, because there was less and less resistance towards that, It's like same how it happened with the business, same how it happened with like anything. Like, remember how was your face and how you was resisting yourself?
Yeah, I had huge acne.
Yeah, and you said
for
you were
years.
saying that you look ugly and all of that shit, and then like suddenly you stop resisting yourself and you be like, okay, well, this is me. This is how I look. I don't have to love it, but I accept it. And then that's the first step. And then you go towards like more and more love.
You know what's crazy? Because, can I say?
Yeah.
I think that, so I'm projecting on our listener now. And maybe they ask, well, okay, so how do I start to be like, okay, this is it, I accept it? And that would be the question, because it looks like that's like a golden ticket to being okay with stuff and for everything to change. But
And
I
it
think
is in a way.
it is. But I think,
but it takes time.
It
it's
takes
not
time,
just like
and I
hop
have
na
to
kravu a bude tela. How do you say that?
hop on cow and there will be a little calf.
Yeah, it's not like that, right? It takes
No.
time, but
in the process.
But there are two things you can be telling yourself when you feel the shittiest, right? Or when you are in the middle of these things, or like when it's, let's say that the argument finished and like you are still bubbling inside and you're like, wow, you are angry or you're sad or whatever you are. And there, like, you can either be saying to yourself like, he's such a fucking blah blah blah, whatever, I hate them, I don't want this
That's
is
exactly
bullshit,
what I was telling myself.
this is bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, you can be saying that to yourself, or you can be like telling yourself it's okay, even though it is not okay, and even though you do feel that anger, but like with saying yourself that it's all right, it just moves you closer and closer to acceptance, and that will move you closer and closer towards love, and all the resistance will disappear. So you can help it a little, but it's not like you can be like, okay, that's it. It takes time, but every time you remind yourself that you don't want to be resisting and that you are moving towards acceptance and towards love, like,
but resisting
you don't
the
stay in
resistance
the
is also the
resistance.
thing. Like if you tell yourself, I don't want to resist, that's already resisting the resistance that is resistant of what
But
is.
that's just overthinking, overthinking. Not. Yeah, I mean,
to me, it's not, because I went through it. For you, it doesn't exist. You don't even like
Yeah,
live this
you
kind of
don't
things.
know
What
what
I'm
I really live or
okay,
not, but
but like it's not that easy. And I think the only thing that really started kind of helping me at the end, even though we must say that we used energy healing for probably like 4 years as a tool that we believed will solve all of our problems, right? Is like the in meditation you go and you speak to your, I don't know, whatever your body, and you asked why is this happening and what's the root, and then you release it. And I don't want to like judge it or make it like a horrible thing.
it a little bit feels like to me that you
I
are.
know. So let's start over. I'm not gonna cut it out. Okay, let's not resist that was part. In 2021.
But okay.
Yes. What?
I mean, we were speaking about something. Now you're gonna go to the box
But
that we
it
can
has.
speak.
It has. It's not a box.
Whole episode can be just about this.
But I'm not gonna speak about it for that long.
Okay.
You know why I'm talking about it, and I'm opening this box that you see, which I don't, is because the resistance was there because we believed that by healing we are removing the resistance, but actually we are creating even more resistance towards our relationship. So after every fight, so in 2021 we met these people, the couple who were healers, and we will speak about it later in the chronological one where we speak about our story. But for purpose of this conversation in this specific episode, I want to say that we both, me and Tomasz, learned how to do energy healing, which is you just basically get yourself in a different wavelength into theta waves, right? Like from the beta and gamma that you have normally throughout the day, or alpha if you're like chilling, you go into theta, right? You focus on your breath and blah blah blah. And then once you enter there, you're really like present and whatever, just you can basically hear things or speak to I don't even know what anymore. And is this new age spirituality kind of tool that people even do courses about. They think they're teaching you something, and we all have to go through this white magic period of our life where we believe that we found the magic pill for every problem and it's a solution. It is not, we know now. But basically we were using this process, the energy healing, as a tool that we believed was helping us solve each fight and each problem and each wound and heal basically like our past and clear the wounds from the childhood and all these things that everybody speaks about, right? And when we were doing that, today we know if you're doing it, it's fine. I absolutely like cheer you on. If it works for you, great. Everybody must go through this period of time in their life, I think. And so, but actually what we know today is that by us believing that the healing is a tool that will change things, it was already coming from a resistance and from not liking what was there and from us needing to change how things were, which is just more resistance. And we kept doing it every day, and we even felt like the more the better, because that's what we were taught by this couple, and like we really believed that that's the way. Well, turns out it was just creating more resistance. And now I'm coming to the reason why I mentioned this. It is because it's not like we wasted. Of course, we didn't waste any time. We needed to go through all of this. Today, we don't meditate. We don't do any healing. We don't do anything of this kind of spiritual thing. We don't have crystals. We let everything go. And we now even have a beer. You know, we didn't drink for 3.5 years. And we really, really fell into this trap. And that's really great because we learned a lot through it. But it just created more resistance. And after a few years of doing it, we realized nothing changed. Nothing improved. And we're like, what the fuck? And then my dad died and everything changed. From that day, I stopped doing everything and it led us here. It led us into this life of acceptance. And so, yeah, basically us thinking we found the tool to help us out of this resistance was creating more resistance. And once we let that go, once we stopped trying to change everything through the healing, we found that everything is basically fine as it is, right? And we're safe. Cool podcast.
Do you want to include me somewhere or like?
Yeah.
Okay, well,
What do you think of it?
Well, the only thing that I want to say about all of this is that every time you said we, it's you, because
Yeah.
I don't really have this kind of experience. I mean, some of it I do, but like maybe 20-30%. But most of it, what you were describing, is what you were going through. And
So this is why I wanted this to be solo episode, because like, do you have any questions or something? Like, this is my experience, and I understand
Yeah,
you
it's
have different
perfect.
one, and you are here. That's great. Like,
It's perfect, and I let you speak a lot in the beginning, and then again, I'm not jumping you into that. I'm letting you to say anything you want, and it is mostly your solo episode. I just had something. I was just speaking about resistance at some point, and I don't want to really participate in this what you were saying. But I just
why
wanted to.
not?
I just wanted to put it. I just wanted to say that everything that you said with we was you, because that's not really my experience. And why not? Because I don't feel like it's the time. I feel like we are speaking about basic things, how we created the business and all of that. And like this big topic that you brought up, for me, like I don't feel like speaking about it at
Yeah,
the
for
moment.
you judge it as a big topic. For me, it's just
No,
part
I
of my
don't
life.
judge it.
Well,
It
you
is
called
part
it
of my.
big topic.
Yes, but
It is big topic
it's
for
not.
you.
Yes, but it's not a judgment. It's just something new that we never mentioned before. And for me, Lasenka, you can bring up anything you want. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying you shouldn't do it. I'm just telling you that for myself, I don't feel like speaking about that. I wanna come to that point where I naturally, well, when this naturally came into my life, and I don't feel like I'm there with things that I so far that I was speaking about in this podcast. I don't feel like this is something that me personally I want to be speaking about. But that's why, like you said, you wanted to have this alone, so it's perfectly okay. You can speak about anything you want. And I just wanted to say that, yeah, that this was your experience, and mine was a little bit different, but it's perfect. Is that okay? How are you? What is happening?
I'm triggered because I allowed you, or I was like, okay, yeah, let's do it together, to be on already like the 5th episode out of 6 that I made.
Mm-hmm.
And
So
I thought you would be supportive part of this, what I'm saying, but I feel fear from you to actually talk about it, which is fine. I deeply and fully love and accept you. I just I feel resistance from you, and it's fine, because this is my podcast and I can talk about anything. Everything for me that happened before right now is just past, and it just is. And there's no big topic or small topic or something to be ashamed of or scared of, or, not
and
talk
somebody
about. And that's
said
why, can I
that
finish?
there is
Can
something
I
like
finish? And I just want to say that that's why I made this podcast, because I want to talk about things that people, and this has nothing to do with you, I just want to talk about this right now. So I want to talk about things that people normally have some kind of resistance to. Either it's too much, or it's too shameful, or it's like unpopular opinion or something. And basically, I got to the point in my life where I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I'm just going to talk about everything the way it is, the way I see it. And I just thought you would join me, and that you would make this conversation more developed. So I wasn't ready, I guess. I had expectations, which is my fault, right? It's my bad that I thought that you would bring this conversation into like better, more like in a level that is more interesting. But actually, half of the time you're quiet, and then when I want you to speak, you're like, that's not my experience, that's not me, it's not what I experience, it's just you, and I don't want to talk about it. So like, okay, then why are you here? Kind of, that's how I feel, you know, like, why, what are you doing here? Then like, I understand, I'm talking, basically the topic of this was completely something that is not about you. It's about my experience of this relationship, and we both, I think it's really clear, we both have very different experience from our relationship. That's why it's just like, I guess, I don't know, I just thought we would have fun, but I'm not having fun right now. So I would have fun alone, but right like this, I have to take you into consideration. And
what does it mean you have to take me into consideration? Because you said first 15 minutes you were speaking, and then I said something to that topic, and then there was another 15 minutes you were speaking, and to that thing I said that I don't really feel like speaking about the topic, which is completely okay, because you said yourself this is your podcast, and you want to speak about anything, and same as you are free to speak about anything, in the same way I am free to say that I'm sorry, but this is not what I feel like talking about, right? So it's the same thing. If I start speaking about how I pooped good in the morning, like, it's same acceptable as saying as I'm sorry, but there's not much I want to say about this topic. Can I please finish? So, and then I just wanted to say, because everything you were saying we. So I just wanted to say that one time, like, eventually, I know I will also speak about this topic, but I just wanted to tell you that everything you just said, because for me, it's not about what you say to people, but for me, I feel like you are speaking to me. And when you say everything to me as we, I just want you to know that what you just said, that's not how I see this part of my life. Okay? Like,
yeah, okay, so you're just saying that for me to speak about me. Okay, guys, so just whoever's listening, everything I said was just me. He wasn't part of it.
So I'm sorry if you wanna just do it alone, like this episode again or whatever. Like, it's fine. But I feel like that even if I'm just sitting here and you are speaking for 40 minutes and I said 3 words, like, it doesn't matter, right? I don't necessarily have to participate, or is it like?
As I said, I thought you would make it more interesting.
I did, didn't I? First 15 minutes you were speaking, I said something for 10, right? So I did make it more interesting, or I said something, right? Is that correct or no? Like, do you recall that? Do you recall that I was speaking about
Yes, you spoke about resistance. Yes. And then I started to actually develop the train of thought in my own way. Yes. And I went into the healing part.
And I let you develop and speak about
anything you actually questioned it. You were like, why are you talking about it? And
no, I didn't say that, and I didn't say it in that judgmental way. And you can check and you can see exactly what kind of tone I was speaking with, and whether I was like, no, I would do. No, I was not like that, baby. I was just normally telling you, like, whatever I said there, but it was not judgmental. It didn't. I don't think it's bad that you said that. I don't think that you shouldn't be speaking about these things. Like, you have, like, I'm giving you 100% freedom to speak about whatever you want to speak, and I'm absolutely okay with you speak about anything. And all I'm asking you to give me the same freedom. And part of that freedom is to say that, thank you, but this topic I don't feel like speaking right now.
Like, but it's triggering. You're on a fucking podcast. If you don't want to talk about it, then just.
But you never told me I will be speaking about this.
So because that's how I do podcasts.
Yes,
I don't plan.
And it's perfect.
It just happens.
But baby, this also just happens. Like, it just happens. Same as for you. You go to one topic. For me, I don't want to go there. And but why do you consider that bad? Why is it not acceptable for you? Or why do you resist that I don't want to speak about that? Like, does it mean to you that if I don't want to speak about it, it means you shouldn't speak about it?
Well, I feel like I'm alone in it. Why are you then even here?
Baby, if you don't want me here, I don't have to be here. And we are doing it together.
No, because when you say, no, that's not my experience, so that's not me, and I don't want to talk about it, then go fucking draw something.
No, you know what it means? It just means that you don't accept the way I have things. That's what it is. Is there any universe where you can see that? Like, you speak, I let you. I speak, you let me. Whatever I say is okay. Do you remember? Do you know how
like
people?
You're cutting my flow.
Do you know how people?
I don't want this like this.
Like, and you know what does it mean when you don't want something? It means that you are resisting it, baby. We were just speaking about that. I mean, I understand that it's hard, but like, this is the thing that we are speaking in this episode. Like, what is it so bad that it's like that? And also, I just wanted to remind you, like, we string a beat. And it's 100% acceptable during string and the beat saying that you have nothing to say, right? So why it wouldn't be acceptable in your freedom of speech podcast to say that this is not something I want to discuss? And you know why
It's
I don't want to
okay.
discuss this? I don't want to discuss this because for me it's a big topic. For me, like, there's so much I have to say about that. And I don't want to just pinpoint it into like another conversation that we are having. Like, that's why I don't want to go there.
Okay, you
This
know
is for
what?
me a huge new box that for me, if I start speaking about it, I'm gonna be speaking for another half an hour just about that. So that's why I don't want to go there.
I understand. I understand what is
But if you
happening.
do want to go there, I'm fine with that.
Listen, Linda. Okay, thank you. I hear you. And I just want to tell you that it's this same feeling I had in the last episode as well when we were recording. Because the way you think and the way you understand and make sense of life and speech and talking and conversation and speaking things is completely different than mine.
Yeah.
And my work here and what gets triggered is me. I guess I had this kind of idea or illusion in my head that we would just flow and dance and talk. But in the second
And we
episode,
do.
no, you said that you want to have it structured. You want 3 points we are speaking about, and you need to know exactly the topic.
You know what's
and
funny? That this is exactly what you said a couple episodes ago, and I told you that that's not really what I need. And again, you are saying that that's what I need. Maybe we are flowing and we are doing exactly what you said. It just doesn't look the way that you want. And I honestly I understand because I went through the same thing a couple episodes ago. Like when you start jumping to these boxes and you start talking about this
What
and this and this, it
boxes?
doesn't matter. That's how I see that. That's not the problem. It doesn't matter. It's just for me.
I hate your
It's
boxes.
for me. It's really hard to navigate that and to just like speak in that way. But if you wish to speak like that, I already, after these 5 episodes, I learned that I just let you speak about whatever, but I don't have to engage into everything and every topic that you bring up because you speak for 15 minutes. I don't know if you realized it, but the first time you start speaking was 15 minutes.
My first episode is 40 minutes
can I please
without
finish?
the pause.
Can I please finish? If you speak about 15 minutes, for me to react to everything you say in those 15 minutes is close to impossible. So that's why I just react to whatever I want to react, and I don't react to what I don't want to react. And if you want me to react to something I didn't, you can always ask me. Like, we can take a break if you need. Like, I don't know what's going on. Let's just take a break, baby.
Okay. Yeah, we're back. I took a break and I went to have a little cry in the toilet for 35 seconds. And something interesting happened. So I understood why this happened. And I'm going to tell you now, baby.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you remember, we were still in Slovakia. It was summer 2025. And we were trying to record podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
But without video. This was without video. And I don't know if you remember this one. We started to really get triggered. Really. And this was the reason why we actually couldn't record it. And we couldn't start back then, 1 year ago yet.
Can I just please ask you, when you speak, can you just speak for yourself?
Yes.
Because again, I remember that scene differently, and I don't want to be just like jump into your speech and saying like, for me it was like this. For me it was like this. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So can you just speak how
but
you
what I
seen
remember,
that?
what I remember is that you said literally that you cannot do this, that you are so furious about what I'm saying and you don't agree with it, and you just can't sit there and listen to me. Do you remember this?
No.
Okay. So this is what I remember. And I told you in that episode, it probably is somewhere in my phone recorded, I told you that one day, my idea, or what I would love to do one day, is to actually have this agreement in real time, record it, and show people how we deal with it in real time. And this was actually when we tried to speak about the I feel or I am triggered tool. We wanted to actually create podcast about the I am triggered tool. And it became so triggering that even the I am triggered tool that we thought is a tool back then didn't work. And then we just quit and never recorded again. Okay. So I think because I said it, and I create with my words. I'm a manifester. I create things when I speak. What happened is that now 1 year later, that's exactly what's happening. I asked for this. I wanted this, even though my inner judge and inner critic is freaking out and is saying, this is bullshit, you shouldn't post this, nobody cares. That's how I know that this is exactly what I'm going to post, because we just went through what we go through every day if we have a conversation, just us two. We challenge each other. We have this disagreement, and just exactly what happened. I get really angry, I resist, then you try to bring it back. This is what I see. This is my experience, and I have to keep saying it so that there's no misunderstanding. That's what I need to do, because this podcast is now with you. So it's a little bit annoying, but okay.
But what is annoying about when you speak about yourself?
Because
you
I have to
don't
explain.
Say why.
Because I have to explain.
No, all you need to do is, instead of we, you say I. That's all. So that's
okay.
all I'm asking you. Because I just want to, like, eventually, if I sometimes get a space to speak about my experience, like, I want to say my own experience, and I don't want to be included in we.
I understand.
Because it's like I have so different experience than you.
I understand.
Even though I was in the same situation, but it's just completely different than what you experienced. Do you understand?
I understand, and I hear you.
You do understand?
Huh?
You do understand?
I do.
You do?
100,000,000%.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you understand?
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, well, look. This is, again, what is life? This is life.
This is one of the things that I remember. Okay, so what I remember is that we were trying to create the podcast, and like either you or me were speaking as we. But when you were speaking as we, like, it was so far from what I wanted to say or how I felt or what I experienced that it was triggering for me. And I felt like, why would you say like things like this? That's like that like it didn't happen for me, right? And yeah, so I remember that. I don't remember those details that you mentioned, but I remember that it was triggering for me when we were speaking about us. Because if we speak about us, it's just such a completely different experience that of course one of us is gonna be like not agreeing what the other person says.
Yeah.
But if you speak about your own experience, even though I was there, and even if you say, like you said, like now you said, I remember you saying this, like that's completely okay for me because it's what you remember. And even if you remember that I did something that never happened, it's fine because that's what you remember.
Yeah.
I can't argue with that, right? And it's completely okay for me if you remember something. So yeah, so that's why like I just wanted to ask you to speak for yourself, you know, your experience. Yes, it was with me, but it was like this is how you see that.
I think that's really the point of us being together on this podcast, because it's showing how two people can have completely different understanding, experience, and
and also when you
can I finish?
Every time when the bike will go, I will just start speaking because you stop. So it's my time to say something. Exactly now, perfect. So you know when you say something for 5-10 minutes and you speak about we and us, then I feel like there's no space for me because you already said it for us. But if you say it for yourself and then you give me space to say the same period of time or same situation from my point of view, then I feel like I feel free and I feel like I can speak there. But if you say it already for us, then it means it's for both of us, but it's actually not. You understand?
Yes.
And I think this is what I see that this podcast taught me so far, and is this part where you have however you see things, I just accept that and it's okay for me, and that's your experience, and it's okay, whatever it is. And also I have different one, and it's also okay. So
I guess me saying we, you know what it makes in me? No. I'm waiting for you to agree. And when you disagree, then I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah.
But I'm not, I can't agree on something that never happened for me, you know? Or what I don't remember.
Yeah. I think this is fucking beautiful, honestly, because I edited the last podcast 2 days ago and I posted it today. And that was the reason why I wanted to speak about what this podcast started with. It was like me seeing again the conflict there and the resolution and us agreeing and, you know, connecting even deeper, just like what happened now, is like a fucking pattern. And it's exactly like in real time we are recording what is happening on daily basis, right? Because this, we challenge each other and we do trigger each other, and with everything now
Again, we challenge, and we, like, you know what, like, okay, so now since you said it, so I'm gonna say how I see it. Okay, because for me, challenging somebody is jump from the roof. That's me challenging you, like, make 50 push-ups. I'm challenging you to make 50 push-ups. That's challenging for me, you know, like, this is for me a challenge. This is how I see it. Okay, this is my own perception of word challenge. When somebody says challenge, it means for me like that somebody is challenging somebody to do something because they are like, you will not do that because you are too weak. I'm challenging you. I dare you.
That's a simple,
things like that. That's a
challenge
for me. But for me, what we speak is that I say something, and when I'm speaking something, you have resistance towards what I speak, or otherwise around. Okay, you are doing something or you are speaking something, and I have resistance towards what you do or what you say, and I don't see it as a challenge. I see it as a resistance in me or in you, and the and where it's leading us. And I see even like progress in these 5 episodes in me is that before, when you were jumping to 300 boxes and opening the topics and just going completely out of anything my mind can handle, like, for me, it was really triggering for me in the first episodes, because like I was resisting it, because I just wanted to have some kind of like sense in what we are talking about. I wanted to have some kind of like, it's not like I need a structure that 1, 2, 3 and we speak only about this and nothing else, and if we go away from that it's a blah blah. No, not like that, but just like I want to have it hlava and peta,
a head and a
heel. Like those are like sayings in Slovakia that we have, but I want things to have hlava and peta, which means that you know what you're talking about and you stay on that and you make a point and you finish it, and then you maybe you just how you say it, when you repeat just the most important things what we talked about, and the whole thing makes sense, because it's just like, I don't know, if you watch a video how to create a boat. So you start with getting wood, then you shape it, then you make a boat, and then you go to the water, and then you can how you say it, when you ride the boat.
Then you can go boating.
Yes, you can go boating. That's not how you say it, but whatever. So this is for me something that has head and heel. Like, you are
Beginning
having the whole the whole story. Like, but like when you go to these things, like for me it's really hard. But like over these 5 episodes, I can see how much more accepting I was today compared to how I was just a couple episodes ago. And and maybe the same thing is now, you know, coming to you to be accepted when there are some, let's say, topics that I don't feel like speaking necessarily, and it's completely okay. And sometimes I'm more quiet, and then sometimes I speak more. So you know, that's my way. You know, your way is just going into, you know, boxes that are just like,
I see it like a labyrinth.
Let's call it like that.
Looking for the entrance back.
Exactly. And for me, I just like to be in one room and just explore every corner and just like speak about it very, you know, about everything in that one room.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes it beautiful.
Yeah.
I have 2 things to say, and I think,
I mean, that's what makes it beautiful, but that's also what makes it for me to resist your way and for you to resist my way. But like when you learn, you know, to let go of the resistance, just accept each other the way that we are dealing with things.
Yeah.
And this is just one thing in life, like, you know,
but that's exactly what this
but you can find it
about.
everywhere, right? Like you can find it in like how like you are keeping stuff all over the room and how I like to have organized stuff, you know, and you can find it everywhere. And you know, and
like my desktop is full of shit, and yours is like there's
organized,
nothing.
So and you know, like you learn this, and that's basically you increasing your acceptance and you're loved, like you said it in the beginning, and
we're again coming full circle,
and you are, yeah,
like in
and
last
you are,
episode.
yeah, and you are letting go of all these resistances, you know?
And this is why, baby, this is what I was gonna say, and I never got to there. This is why it happened. This is why this, let's say, conflict or disconnection or some kind of, problem happened in the middle of this episode. And the same thing happened also in the last episode. It's because we're kind of like calling it in. Whatever we speak about, it happens in real time just to prove the concept of what we speak about. So we started this episode and we're ending it with the fact that when there's a resistance, it is actually invitation to accept.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what happened.
But it makes you
Can I finish?
feel better in the end of the day.
Of course. It's a resolution of some kind of like a hiccup. It actually feels amazing. Right? And so why we feel good right now, why I feel
good. But also I want to say that it was really challenging for me.
No, you cannot jump in my speech.
Why not?
Because I didn't finish already 3 points.
Really?
Yes.
You have 3 points?
Well, the first one you jumped in, like, it's okay. But
so what are the points?
Okay, first one is, I didn't make this podcast sooner because what you're saying, I believed is wrong, and I'm not a good podcaster. If I am not in one box and in one room and organized and it has head and a heel, nobody will listen.
Head and a toe.
I believe this, and that's what kept me from not doing it. Until I said, fuck it, I'm gonna do it anyways because I just wanna fucking talk. And whoever will listen. I'm not doing this for the results. I'm doing it because I just wanna talk into a mic. That's the first thing. I see you resisted, but you are also not the target audience. You're not someone who will listen to this anyway. So I don't even have to care. The right people will come there, even if it's like one person, it's okay. So I wanted to say this. That's the first thing. Second thing is, whatever happened today and in the last episode is exactly proving the concept of what we speak about. We can disagree. We can have the resistance. We can still go through it with love and reach the acceptance point, and reach the love point where we reconnect again without killing each other in the process, without losing love for each other, and with accepting we are completely different human beings and we still can be in a fucking thriving relationship. Sometimes I think about what is life should be what is love, but that's okay, maybe one day. But these are the points I wanted to make. Mm-hmm. That actually it happens in real time, so that we proved that what we speak about, we really live. Because we can speak about, in 6 years, we learned this, but then the opportunity comes in real time, and I think that's fucking amazing. My inner critic is saying, oh, but this is not a podcast about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, it's not even meant to be. I don't want it to be like that. That's not my role in this world to do podcasts like everyone else. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is how to remove resistance and go to acceptance. No, that's not. I'm not a coach. I said in the beginning, I'm not a coach. I'm not a guide. I'm not a teacher. Your life will teach you. I'm not here to teach you. I'm just here to do what I love. And so you joined, and whatever happens in the container of that 1 hour or whatever happens, and I accept it, and I post it.
No, you do.
Yeah. Well, it's a journey.
Of course it is, and it probably is gonna happen again. I think so. This is gonna happen again. And, it's just like every time it happens, we go through it with more ease, and until it will not happen again, or until we will go through it without any emotions at all, and then it will disappear.
Yes, exactly. So I would like to thank you.
Mm-hmm. I would like to thank you too.
Thank you for thanking me, and I want to thank you because you know what you did?
I did a lot of
really
things,
good song
but
started
I don't know
playing.
what do you mean right now.
You helped me simplify the pattern of our conflicts or fights in the last 6 years, because it is the resistance, and I feel like you have been triggering resistance in me. And just the intensity of that resistance with which I react and have been reacting is going from really high to lower and lower. Like it's almost like training one thing over and over again. It becomes faster, it becomes easier, And I feel like today was the great example of that. It took us like 20 minutes, okay, but I was able to overcome it, go cry, come back, not make it a big deal, not make it the end of the world, not make it mean that we have to break up, that, you know, we are not a good match and it should be easier and we shouldn't fight because blah, blah, blah. So I want to thank you because you actually teach me, with you just being you, not even trying to trigger me, you're actually teaching me how to, you trigger that resistance in me, and every time it happens, we're becoming, as you said, better. I'm becoming better and better in it, and going from resistance to acceptance in real time with you. Accepting the way you are, that you're different, that you have different point of view, different experience, different relationship, different world, different universe, different planet, different mind, different everything, even though we're one.
Yeah, but not different planet.
Only universe.
Not even that.
So what? That's
Just
the way I see it.
Just different experience.
Yeah, and we still make it work. We
Yeah.
still love each other as crazy.
Yeah, because I don't know, like for me it's not mind blowing. For me it doesn't connect. Like why wouldn't we make it work? Like that's how I feel. Like why wouldn't we make it work just because you feel like talking like a labyrinth and I just like to make a point and go. Like why
Home.
wouldn't we make a like doing like
I
see?
guess
Like that's again like that's your experience
it's
and mine.
based
My
on a
experience
belief.
is
Yeah.
that like when all of these things were happening in those past 6 years, like for me it was hard to understand and accept the part. Like what was going on in my mind was like why she wants to argue all the time if we love each other. Like it doesn't make any sense to argue. Like why do we need to do that? Like why she needs to go crazy about everything, you know? Like why we cannot just like normally talk things out or just
And how do you see
you
it
know?
now?
But I never like, and for you it was like we are not compatible or something like that. Like you wanted to break up because something's wrong.
So
But
we made it mean different things.
yeah.
So
yeah,
how do you? I
exactly.
want to ask you a question and give you the space, and then we are done. How do you see the difference between how I was before and reacted before, and now how I am now? So before you said you were like, why do we need to fight about everything? Why is she like this? Why, when we love each other, she needs to do all this? How do you look at it now after
So
those
you are
years?
asking me about how do I look at it, or are
Yes.
you asking me how you were? Because you started the question about yourself and then you finish it how I see it.
No.
Me.
Okay. Triggered.
No, I just want to understand. Like,
Yeah,
do
I'm
you want me
triggered.
to speak about me,
But
or
I
do you
think it
want
was
me to
simple
speak
question.
about? Yeah, but you started. How
No,
do you see me?
forget it.
And then you finished.
No, I asked the question. How do you see the difference in how I dealt with those conflicts and my,
So that's about you.
and how I deal with it now?
Okay, but you will listen and you will see that that's not how you finish the
Oh my
question.
God! If I got $1 every time
No.
you said, I wish we were recording this about what
Come
you
on,
said.
you will see. Okay, so I understand now. So yeah, it's honestly not easy for me to speak about you, but I would say that your level of resistance is lower, and therefore there is more love, and therefore it's easier to go through things.
Which was exactly my point of this podcast and this episode.
Yeah.
Thank you. I feel complete.
Okay.
Because for me, you are, and this relationship was the training ground, or was the catalyst for this transformation, to get into the, not even get to the, like, there's no final destination, right? It's a process and it will be forever until we die. But this is exactly was my point. Thanks to our conflicts, thanks to you triggering me and me going through the resistance over and over and over again, even making myself fucking sick, because the resistance makes so much tension in the body, it shows everywhere, that it actually helped me to become who I am now. And thank you for that. Because you showed me how to ease the resistance faster and just be fucking chiller, more chill.
I feel like that again you are giving me credit, but I think you should give credit to yourself, because in the end of the day I have nothing to do with this. This is all you. This is your
I
experience.
can still thank you.
Yes, of course, but I can also say that I feel like that you are giving me credit, and I feel like you should give it to you, because I feel that everything you said, it's what you did. It's not me. It's not I that I showed you something or I triggered something. Like, it was you doing all of this.
I guess
And
so.
I think you were the one who started accepting, and you were the one who started resisting, and
Yeah.
you were the one who started seeing things differently. And it's always you, even though yes, I was there, but I had my own things.
Yeah.
But in the end of the day, it doesn't matter who or what is there. It's always your lessons,
Yeah.
and it's always your
Yeah.
resistance that wants
Yeah.
to be let go. And
I'm the
it's
one who cried. I'm the one
exactly,
who suffered. I'm the
exactly,
one who was sick. I'm the one who had
exactly.
peeing infection. I'm the one who needed to take 1 week off and cry in a room. I'm the one who just really needed to feel it all.
Yeah,
You're right.
yeah. I don't even
But
know
you
if
stayed.
I believed in feeling it all anymore, to be honest. But that's also for another topic, another way, in another podcast or whatever, another episode. That's what I wanted to say.
Yeah.
Sorry. But they okay?
Well, this was interesting. When I was editing the last episode, I said there it was like an LSD trip. This feels very similar.
Really, you said that?
Mm-hmm.
I don't recall. But I believe you said that.
Are you even there? It's crazy. Everything I say, I feel like you don't remember anything. But it's fine.
I
That's what I'm here
remember
for.
probably
Well, things I
99%
remember, you
of the
don't.
things.
Yeah.
Because things that are important for you are not for me. Like, for you, like, you don't know where you put your phone or your headphones or your laptop, and you keep forgetting, even though you had it in your hand literally 15 seconds ago or 3, and you don't remember that. And it's okay. And the same way I feel about your LSD speech. I don't remember that because, I don't know, I guess I feel about it the same as you felt about your laptop 15 seconds ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
What? You resist that?
No, I just want to say one last thing. I feel like this podcast, the fact that we recorded together, is yet another kind of like a opportunity for us to practice going from resistance to acceptance, because we stopped basically having those kind of fights that we used to. So now we created another opportunity for us to practice it in this interesting setting that would normally not happen, but I made it happen because I created the podcast What is Life.
I feel like it's happening no matter what you do. If you record, if you don't record, if you go and close yourself in a room, or if you go out there and you are in the busy city, if you are with your parents or with your family, or if you are alone, or if you are, like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You cannot escape it, and it's going to happen over and over and over, because this is how we evolve.
But we are close in a country, apart from all of our friends and family, and like kind of living in a bubble. So obviously it's going to be you and me kind of, or maybe it's just my experience.
But it's not just us, if you think about it. Like, we have resistance in many things, not just like, about each other, not only in this relationship. It might be the biggest one, but like, what is big or small is again just like some kind of judgment, right? Or something, but like, it's happening. Like, if we, let's say, just today we went out to check a house, and the lady didn't have a keys to the house, and you felt resistance towards that, right? Like,
I felt
you were
angry. I was like, what the fuck, dude?
Exactly.
We have one job.
Exactly. And that's resistance, right? So it's not just us. It happens anywhere. Like, we go to restaurant, and I don't know, it's like 3 of us sits down and they bring one menu, and for me it's like I do feel resistance towards that, or like it happens anywhere. It doesn't matter. It doesn't, and it can be people and it can be situations. It's the same thing. You can feel resistance towards people, and you can feel resistance towards situations.
What helped me the most, especially after my dad died, and it's something that the coach I used to have, John, he broke his neck snowboarding, and he said, I was there, and I was just telling myself, this is what it is right now. You know, it's okay. Like he accepted it immediately. And you know what? When my dad died, I remembered him like 24/7. I was reminding myself, this is what it is right now. This is what it is right now. It is what it is. This is what it is. It's not different. And I think that for me is something that is actually tangible that I can use. I don't have to use it anymore, but sometimes I do. And this is when I tell myself, this is what it is right now. It brings me into a present moment, and it brings me into seeing this is what it is. It's not different. And it's not going to be different just because I want to and just because I resisted and I want it differently. No, this is what it is right now. And it kind of brings me into that present moment and acceptance. Yeah.
Okay.
So this podcast is what it is, and that's it. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, what are we leaving with? I'm going to go first. I'm leaving with opportunity to practice acceptance towards how this podcast went and practice non-judgment and non-resistance and just be absolutely like, okay, this podcast was absolutely not what I thought it would be, but this is what it is right now. Proving the fucking concept, baby. That's what I'm leaving with. And you?
I guess I'm closer to accepting your way of speaking and presenting yourself in this podcast.
Well, thanks.
Yeah, well, it's happening all by itself. It's not like I'm trying
Yeah, I know.
or not trying.
Yeah. I understand.
But that's what I feel.
You know, when I do it alone, it's easy. And when I do it with you, it's a little bit harder.
Yeah, but you know, all of those things that you quote unquote avoid by doing it alone, you get the same thing somewhere else. You get it like when you finish and then you speak to me, or you get it when you go check the house,
Yeah.
or you get it when you go to grocery store and you have to wait in the line, or
Might
like
as well fucking
it doesn't matter where
get
it
through
is.
it with you.
I think it's a long whole life process. I don't think it's something you can get over with. You know, and you know, just accepting that that's part of your life is also a big thing.
This is life. Everything is life, including the resistance, including this process, including the conflicts, including the lady not bringing the keys to the house viewing, including your dog having a skin problem and ear infection, including of you needing to pee 3 times me needing to pee 3 times during the podcast. And yeah, having a voice in my head that says this is too long, nobody will listen. That's life. All of this is life, and every time we record more and more, I understand everything is life, and it's just up to us what we see and what we focus on and what we just experience. It's just like, that's it. Yeah, well, thank you guys for listening. Subscribe, like, and comment. You know, leave us some reviews. I found how to do it now, and you can rate. You can rate this podcast, and you can leave a review. So if you want to do that, that would be great. If not, it's okay. I'm still yet to, start talking about the podcast that it actually exists. Still nobody knows on social media. Wish us luck. Wish me luck. And yeah, it's a nice hobby for now. Let's see where it goes.
I want to say that if you listen to this, can you just write underneath the podcast that I listen to this? Because Martina is telling me that she already 10 people listened to the previous episode and 8 people listened to I don't know what,
17.
And then she's like, I just posted the new podcast, and in 1 hour already 3-4 people are listening to it, and I don't know, it's very hard for me to believe that, because we don't advertise it anywhere. It's literally like having a store in the middle of the woods where nobody goes and nobody knows you there. So for me, it's really surprising that somebody is actually listening to that. So I just wanna know that you actually are. So if you can just write a comment underneath that you actually listen to it, that would be amazing.
Yeah,
Thank
you. Please, always, every episode, tell him that you listen.
Not
to
every,
this.
just if you just
because he just can't believe that this has any value.
But I never said I don't believe it.
Okay, that's what I said.
Yeah. So why would you say that I believe that?
Whatever. This
So
is
yeah,
how it
and
seems to
maybe
me.
if you listen to last 2 or 3 or 4, you can write that you listen to all of them, or like whatever. Just like I want to know, like I really,
Yeah, he does want.
I need the proof.
You have proof in numbers.
Okay,
It's
but
not like
can I
me
have
changing
can I
VPNs
can I
and
can I
listening
also
to my
but
own
can I also
podcast.
have proof in comments?
Yes, please, guys.
I just wanna
Please.
like a real person saying that they listen to it.
Yeah,
That's
but it's
all.
still they can't. I think they can't comment on it on Apple Podcast, only on YouTube.
Okay, so on
So
YouTube,
go to
or just
YouTube
like
if you.
send us a message, or
Oh
like
yeah, there's
whatever.
a fan mail.
Just you can just do anything. Just like let
Yes.
me know like that
We
you
need,
listen to it.
yeah,
Thank
feedback.
you.
Thank you.
That's all I want.
Thank you. All right. So with this, the resistance to acceptance episode in real time is done.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.